Okay. Um, it's August the 13th, 2020. This is Kendall, and here with yet another episode of one of my dreams. Okay, so this dream occurred during an afternoon nap earlier today, which again is August the 13th, 2020. Um, I was coming up from some really deep levels of sleep and entered REM. Uh, I didn't have any music in my ears. This is to be noted because uh, I sleep 90% of the time with music in my ears for certain reasons. This afternoon, when this dream occurred, there was no music, which is somewhat typical for the type of dream it was, which was one of my recurring dreams about DJing in a club. Okay, so when I became aware of the dream, I was in a club that I'd worked at in 1996. It was a somewhat similar building, a somewhat similar group of people, and uh, I was in the DJ booth, and all of a sudden the DJ left the DJ booth to do some business somewhere, like all of us would do. Just abruptly leave the DJ booth and left me in there with it. And he looking at me from different locations out on the floor in the club, like I was supposed to do something about, like I was supposed to do the next song, or like he just expected me to take over. So basically, he was just throwing it to me right after I'd gotten hired, and I didn't do anything. So there was a lot of dead air, and like he was walking around looking like perturbed, like I had done something wrong, even though he had not given me any explicit instructions, you know. So I remember looking at him in the dream and saying, I mean, in a way, the person he was like several DJs that I worked with that kind of were on a high horse, like they were better than me. So it's almost like the person that was in this dream took on that persona. And I remember looking at him and saying, "You're the same as you were after all this time has passed, aren't you?" He was like, "Yeah," you know, and like, okay, so I'll get back to that in the analysis. So then, so then I started trying to get music going, and then all of a sudden, basically, this was a pretty short dream, but it was pretty major, and I'll go into that in the analysis. So like, he was looking around like I was supposed to be doing something about the music. Meanwhile, like one of the strippers like started prodding me with this little knife. Like, it wasn't a knife as much as it was like an ice pick type of a like needle. It was almost like a needle designed to work on electronics. And they started poking with it. They were like stabbing with it. I could feel it in my dream, laying in the bed. I could feel this little needle going into my body, like going into my organs, like my liver and like my kidneys and stuff. And I was like, ow, like, and they had handed me one to like fight back, like it was a game or something. And I wasn't doing it. I was just trying to get away from it, and I was just getting stabbed over and over. And that's the way the dream ended. Okay, so now the analysis. Remember that I was trained in 1988 to analyze dreams using the Jungian method and also the Freudian method. So, um, first of all, being back in the clubs is like in my mind, that being a possibility. Like in dire financial circumstances in my future from now, would I find myself back in that position? So the guy that wasn't really a specific character from my past, but was more like an encapsulation of several of them, being like dissatisfied with me, and me telling him, "You're the same as you've always been." That's my mind trying to tell me that if I did find myself back in that situation, it would be equally frustrating present day as it was 15 plus years ago. Okay. So then the little person stabbing me over and over and them giving me, one to stab them back with, and me not being reluctant to stab back, was like the way I was treated in clubs is I was grossly mistreated. I felt like all these years, I've always kind of felt like I was grossly mistreated, but yet I never took a single step to take any vengeance on that to anybody. And probably the general the general idea of it is this danger. Working in strip clubs is there's an element of danger to it. So basically, having that dream at all is like my body reminding me that I don't want to ever have to find myself in a position to have to go back and do that again. So anyway, yet another dream and analysis by Kindle. It's it's August the 13th, 2020, and the time is somewhere around 9 p.m. Thanks for watching. If you like this, if you'd like to watch more, go back and watch the previous ones and like kind of wait for more upcoming. And don't forget to hit the subscribe, the like button, and the subscribe button if you'd like to see further content. And thanks for watching.